Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, and welcome to week 2. Welcome to Thursday Night Football. The New York Football Giants head to the Washington football team. Stick around. Let's discuss it from a DFS point of view. And there it is. We are back once again. I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall, and I want to talk Thursday night football. To be honest with you, Thursday night football and Sunday night football might be my two favorite things, right? Because Thursday, there's nothing else going on. You wait all week. I think that's the theme Carrie Underwood sings for Sunday night, but I feel like it could just go both ways. We've been waiting all day for Thursday night, so wait no more. Here we are. Let's talk about the football game Thursday night in Washington. The New York Football Giants head to the massive machine that is the defensive line of the Washington football team. Before we get into that, go to Team Rise or Fall, like, share, subscribe, and use promo code NFL50. I think they're still running it. If not, I look foolish. If they are, guess who gets a nice little prize here? You do. Use promo code NFL50. You're going to get 50% off your first month of premium services here with Team Rise or Fall. Week 1 of the NFL season was fantastic for DFS lines, for social interactions for everybody. But again, it's just an odd, fickle thing. For DFS perspective, that's done. That's done and clean. I mean, that is over, right? So we turn our attention to Thursday nights, more meaningful football. And let's just get right into it, shall we? I have my notes. I have my screens up and I'm ready to dig in. So let's start right off the bat. I want to talk about, normally I think of these videos as going, through every player, right? That would be 30, 40 minutes, maybe even longer. So I'm just going to go over some quick hits and we'll see how that goes. As I've said for the last week to 10 days, just working it out on the fly. If there's anything you want more from me, let me know. If there's anything you want me to cut back on, let me know. I'm all ears. I'm open-minded to change whatever you want to fit your mold of what DFS should be from a video perspective, from a content perspective. So it's almost been 2 minutes and I haven't mentioned a single player. Okay, let's get right into it. Let's talk about Daniel Jones, shall we? Danny Dimes. He is 15,000 bucks on FanDuel, $10,400 on DraftKings. Now, as I said, the Giants go to Washington. Washington is it's only been one game, right? They're going to figure it out. But as it stands right now, Danny Jones is facing the 24th overall ranked defense against opposing quarterbacks here. If we go down, Taylor Heinke, who is now the appointed QB1 in Washington after that nasty hip injury that Ryan Fitzpatrick suffered. So I wish Ryan Fitz the best. I know everybody here at Team Rise or Fall wishes Ryan Fitz the best. But for now, this is the quarterback matchup. Daniel Jones versus Tyler Heinke. So when you talk about Daniel Jones, it's like, at what point do the Giants kind of see, well, he's not what we expect him to be? Should we look elsewhere? I know this argument just falls by the wayside because it's only week 2 and we have to make a decision in the next, day or so in terms of our DFS lineups. At his price on FanDuel, to me, complete fade. 15,000 bucks, that's a ton of money. And these are all, flex position prices, MVP prices, it goes up significantly on DraftKings. But on DK in a flex spot at only 10,400 bucks, it's not a bad move. And as we go through the video, you'll know and you'll see that there's some other players I'd prefer in that captain spot. So Tyler Heinke, when we move down him, as I said, $14,500 on FanDuel, $10,200 on DraftKings. Now the Giants are 22nd overall against opposing quarterbacks. And to me, Ryan Fitz was a fantastic signing. The YOLO throws, as Pat Fitz would say, #1 overall ranker. So shout out to Pat Fitz, all love here. But with Ryan Fitz, he's gone now. And when you look at Tyler Heinke, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was a Thursday night football. It was a primetime game, Thursday night or Sunday night. Tyler looked electric. Remember that play where he ran down the sideline, full Superman, the ball touched the pylon, and they printed it into t-shirts for everybody in Washington So to me, of the two quarterbacks, I would prefer Tyler Heinke. He's got nothing to lose. He's going to be standing in there like the world depends on it. And while, he has some time to kind of acclimate himself as the QB1 there, Ryan Fitz isn't coming back anytime soon, unfortunately. But Tyler Heinke, however you want to say it, is going to be a madman. He's going to be going berserk out there. So make sure you look at Tyler for your lineups. $14,500 on FanDuel, $10,200 on DraftKings. Now it gets very, very juicy when we talk about running backs. So you look down the list. Gibby, Saquon Barkley, Booker, J.D. McKissic, and even the young kid Jarrett Patterson, who is only $400 on DraftKings. It's insane to me. But when you look at Antonio Gibson, the Giants are 22nd overall against opposing running backs. Gibby is $12,500 on FanDuel. He's $9,600 on DraftKings. Now, when you have how can I put this? When you add a guy like Gibby in your lineups, especially what he did last year in some primetime games, I believe it was Thanksgiving, Gibby went nuts. Everybody fell in love right then and there. So we have to temper our expectations. And I don't see a case where Gibby disappoints us on Thursday night playing the 22nd overall ranked defense against running backs with the Giants here. So Gibby to me is a guy that I would look to put in my MVP spots. But on the same token here, so is, hundreds of thousands of other folks. But I guess if the shoe fits, you're going to wear it, right? Gibby at MVP, not a big deal. Gibby at Gibby at a flex spot, much more suitable here. You don't want to build your lineups. You don't want to be left in the cold without Antonio Gibson in your lineup. So moving on, Saquon Barkley, Saquon is $14,000 on FanDuel. He's $10,000 on DraftKings. Now, much respect to the folks that this time last week, they were saying if you got other options at running back, maybe you want to go that route here. And I thought it was completely crazy, right? It's start your studs, don't get cute, that whole MO. And lo and behold, Saquon was nothing special in week one. So I apologize to anybody that I talked ill of or said, Saquon Barkley is just a stud. You're going to want to start him. But on Thursday Night Football, no better place for Saquon to shine here. Going against the 24th overall ranked, defensive line or DBs. They're 24th overall against opposing running backs. So to me, Saquon, $14,000 on FanDuel, $10,000 on DraftKings, and that the DraftKings price is just a flex spot. Another guy you want to look at in the MVP spot. Because again, it's all cat and mouse, give and take. So after what Barkley did last week, how many folks that you're going to have two sets of people, and you'll see it all week on Twitter, social media before the game here. You're going to have two groups of folks that say, you know what, Saquon let us down in week one. We're going to fade him in week two on Thursday Night Football. And then you're going to have folks like me who, I gamble, I play roulette. Roulette is my favorite thing. So if you're at the roulette table and you walk up and you see that red has come up like 17 times in a row, what's your first reaction? I'll wait. It's to play black. If red come up 17 times, black is almost certain to hit. I'm thinking of Saquon Barkley the same way. He was out last year, tore up his knee. He didn't do well in week one. Well, guess what? He's bound and due for a nasty good game on Thursday Night Football. So once again, Saquon, $14,000 on FanDuel, $10,000 on DraftKings. Now, I want to mention two other running backs just in passing. J.D. McKissic, $7,000 on FanDuel, only $2,200 on DraftKings. And Devontae Booker, $75,000 on FanDuel, $75,000. That's holy smokes. Booker is $7,500 on FanDuel, only $2,800 on DraftKings here. Now, of the two, Booker or J.D. McKissic, which way would you look? Well, realistically, there's only one way to look here, right? And it's J.D. McKissic after all those receptions and targets last season. But I know, I'm aware. Alex Smith is not there, the check down king. But who's to say Tyler Heinke in his first start is looking for some sort of safety blanket, looking to get something going. So I think J.D. McKissic is very much in play for an MVP or captain spot in this one. Who knows how the chips may fall? Obviously, Gibby is the RB1, but there's some value here with J.D. McKissic. One other kid I want to mention is the rookie running back, Jarrett Patterson. So on FanDuel, he's $5,500. On DraftKings, you're not going to believe this. Jarrett Patterson is $400. Now, I know it's risky. You know, you have Gibby, you have J.D. McKissic, you have all the wide receivers, which we'll get to. Where does that leave a young kid in Jarrett Patterson to get any work? But at $400, you can put him in and you could just build like a monster lineup around it. So look, let's see how the week plays out. And right before Thursday night football kickoff, look on Twitter. I'm going to have some little secret stacks and some little secret, tricks of the trade here. Jarrett Patterson in play at a flex spot. If you want to get wild, put him at the MVP spot. You know, if someone wins $1 million on Thursday and you look at their lineup, right, Jarrett Patterson is the MVP and he scores once or twice, your mind is blown, but you heard it here first. If it hits, everybody's going to be like, Chris called it, maybe, hopefully. If he does nothing, then I'll burn this video. It'll self-destruct and nobody will care. So let's go to wide receivers and then I can get you the heck out of here. I don't want to spend 30 minutes talking Thursday night football, although you know I can. So Terry McLaurin, obviously one of the bigger ads on Thursday night football. He is $12,000 on FanDuel. And then on DraftKings, Terry is, drumroll, $9,000 here. Washington going up against the Giants. The Giants are 22nd overall against opposing wide receivers. Terry is, we've talked about him. I think he's quarterback proof. I think he's matchup proof. Look to get Terry McLaurin in your lineups. And the next guy, a waiver wire darling in week 2, which I know we're going to hit, Sterling Shepard. Washington's 24th overall against opposing wide receivers. Shepard is $11,500 on FanDuel, and on DraftKings, he's only $8,000 here. So you can start to see how our lineups will start to mold together here. Kenny G against Washington, $10,500 on FanDuel. Kenny G on DraftKings is $8,200. Now, the one outlier I want to mention here has to be Dyami Brown, right? I mean, with Curtis Samuel being on IR, Dyami is only $5,500 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, Brown is only $1,400. So to me, of all these wide receivers, if you're having a tough time picking which guy you want, which guy you don't want, make sure you get Terry in there. Make sure you get Kenny G in there. And absolutely affordable is Dyami Brown. So as it stands now, my lineup is going to be looking like, let's say we put Dyami Brown in the MVP spot. So Dyami, Saquon, Gibby, Terry, and then you can put Patterson in there for $400. I mean, so you can get some crazy builds going. And again, keep an eye out on my Twitter at Detroit Beastie or at teamriseorfall. I'm going to be taking this Thursday night video and extending it a little bit more as the season goes on. As I said at the opening, adding a little bit more, maybe a little written article, maybe sharing some sample lineups here. So just be mindful of that. Adam Humphries, $4,800 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he is $6,500. And then you get to a weird spot with Antonio Gandy Golden, $5,000. And again, if you're like me in terms of playing DFS, which I know a lot of you are, that's why we've connected so well the last year and a half now. When it comes to single game, like captain mode or showdown here, I only mess with GPP. So Gandy Golden, Jarrett Patterson, all these off the cuff kind of plays are very much, in tune with what I'm trying to do here. So make sure you double check that these guys are active. They're not in street clothes. They're not a healthy scratch. And we'll go from there. Let's move on to tight end really quick. The only one or two people to mention here, Logan Thomas. He's a massive $10,000 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, Logan Thomas is $7,400. I think Logan Thomas this weekend, Thursday, is going to be a target hog, a target monster. We know that a inexperienced quarterback, which you could argue that Tyler Heinke is not experienced, and he is in the same vein. Collar's freaking me out here. So when you get to a guy like Logan Thomas, he's going to be just a monster in terms of soaking up targets through the middle of the field, creating space and opening things up for a guy like, Terry McLaurin here. So you have to look at Logan Thomas this Thursday. Kyle Rudolph is another guy who I'm very intrigued about. Washington is 24th overall against opposing tight ends. Now, I know he has to battle Evan Ingram here. Kyle Rudolph is $3,200 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel, he's $7,000. So to me, I'm going to fade Kyle Rudolph on FanDuel, and I'm going to massively play him on DraftKings. Evan Ingram, $7,500 on FanDuel. Evan is $5,200 on DraftKings here. And the rest, you go down the list. What else is there? Ricky Seals-Jones, Tyrone Swoops, Ryan Izzo. I mean, it's just a wasteland there at tight end here. So thank you for being here. I want to say I will have, an updated lineup for Thursday Night Football for any and all sites. FanDuel, DraftKings, SuperDraft, Yahoo, whatever you want to do, let me know. My DMs are always open. You can always say, hi, how you doing? I watched your video. Can we talk about it? Absolutely. So until next time, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, like and subscribe, use the promo code NFL50. If that's null and void, use promo code Beastie. That's it. Beastie's my cat. Detroit Beastie's my @ on Twitter. So I will see you soon. And until then, have a blast this week.